We made it, Gen Z. We're all in our 20s. The social contracts. It was so great. We've all made it. Okay, most of us have, but we have all made it. Think about it. We went to school, memorized stuff. We passed our exam. We went to university. Most of us are either in university, and a couple of us graduated university. And we've all made it. The job market is great. The economy is booming. Inflation is low. Everything is great. And for context, I'm talking about the Zambian economy. I'm not talking about any Western nation. We are doing great, guys. We are making it, and we are surviving, and everyone has jobs. Just like our parents told us. They all told us the exact same thing. Work hard, go to school, get a job, and you shall be blessed for working really hard, because every person who works hard gets what they deserve. Funniest thing about entering the workforce is realizing that even if you have a degree, you have a certificate, you have a diploma, or even just a grade 12 certificate, that is still not enough to get a job. And it's quite saddening and quite depressing, because if any of you have tried to apply for jobs, you will know it is depressing. As someone who is in their early 20s and in late stages of university, I will tell you the job market does not look any friendly, be it in Zambia, be it abroad, be it anywhere across the world. It just seems like no one is hiring, right? And in the places where they are hiring, you need nepotism, networking, connections, the big three buzzwords that encourage everyone to socialize, when in actuality most people aren't socializing. What they're doing is just talking to each other about things that aren't meaningful in the slightest. You put on a performative mask that is gonna make people think you're a professional, and then they're gonna recommend you somewhere else, but it doesn't really matter at the end of the day, because most people are gonna be recommended because their uncle or aunt, grandma or grandpa, or any other person is gonna recommend their nephew, niece, or maybe cousin. So at the end of the day, I see so many people that are networking but still not getting jobs, and it is depressing being a Gen Z in this generation. How you look at it, the macroeconomics are doing great, and you can't deny it. And any person who is denying it is just a person that doesn't understand the data. But the microeconomic variables, not so great. Youth unemployment is still pretty much bad. General employment in the formal sector is also still bad. And what can we do about it? Make jobs. Everyone should be their own boss. The youth should start businesses. Now let's break that down a little bit. It's pretty cool that they want the youth to make their own jobs and to start their own businesses. Start up that entrepreneurial mindset, which is great. Honestly, it is a good thing. People should think of ways outside making their own sustainable living outside the government. The government should just create social safety nets that will help people not die of starvation. That's what I believe in. They should make it easy for people to own homes. They should also make it easy for people to find jobs. They should make it easy for people to feel safe in their communities. Handing out money to people who have no prior education on how to run a business is quite saddening, honestly, because a lot of people are not great at running businesses, at actually understanding how businesses should run and how to scale them to bigger heights. A lot of people don't know that yet. It's not fully at the fault of the government, but at the end of the day, I believe that every person who does want to start a business needs to understand how money works for a business. And I'm not gonna go get into that. That is not necessary in this video. This video is about how hard it is to be a youth in Zambia, and how we are struggling, we are broke, we are unmotivated, and we are suffering. And there are lots of variables that lead to all of that. Even though they want us to start businesses, a lot of us can't start businesses if we don't have capital. We have CDF and other incentives that will give money to all of the people who want to start businesses, which is great. Honestly speaking, having the money and the access to do that is great. But the biggest issue, in my opinion, is that a lot of people don't understand the necessary fundamentals of financial planning or strategic management, or even having learned the corporate work ethic that is required to run businesses. Corporations in Zambia, and from my observations, do not have the incentives that are needed to actually hire new graduates or people of actual qualifications. For example, I am a business student, and after my graduation, I will graduate with probably a couple other hundred people who are also fresh business student graduates who are going to want to find employment. The best of the best, the meritocratic belief that if you work hard, if you're the best, you get the jobs. Those guys get the opportunities, those guys get the recommendations. Every person thinks there will be those guys, but there won't be those guys. A lot of people are average. I'm average. But getting out of there, getting into the world and starting to work and expecting to be employed by a private company is very painful. Main reason being is that they do not want a fresh graduate unless nepotism is involved. If you do not have any connections from your uncle, your aunt, your friends, or any person who is important in your life, you are not gonna find a job. And if you do, sometimes you have to bribe. I have seen people pay money to get a job where they can be paid for money, right? Someone paid 5,000 kwacha to get a job to work at a feeding station. And I was like, this is how bad it is that people have to pay to get a job. And that's very depressing if you ask me. And honestly, it is depressing to realize that we live in a reality like that. What can we do about it? One, we can complain to the government. We can try and convince private corporations. But we are back at square one, where we have to beg the government for assistance, which the whole point of the government's incentives is to stop us from begging the government to assist us into our own survival and achieving our own personal, financial, social, and individual goals. But that's gonna be very difficult when the companies that most people want to work at are not hiring. And they're probably gonna hire someone who wants 3, 4, 5 years of work experience, and the new graduate gets in and out of school and just is unemployed and sits home all day with no work experience, no work ethic, no nothing. And it's disappointing. It's genuinely disappointing, and it's scary for me and for a lot of the people that I know that not actually get the opportunities to work in the places they want to work in and to build the lives that they want to build, because we don't have that social safety net that's going to save a lot of us. The previous generation that came before us worked hard. I will not lie. I will not undermine that they did not work hard to provide, but if we're being honest, they did not set the groundwork for the rest of us to succeed. Being Gen Z, seeing my fellow peers, and be it in Zambia, be it in Zimbabwe, be it in South Africa, Namibia, be it in Tanzania, Malawi, even Western countries. Ooh, power just went. I love this country. The frustrations faced by those that I know, those that are my peers, those that are around the world, is very painful and are still expected to succeed. And the older I get, the more depressing it is to find out that me and lots of people around the world don't have the luxury of expecting our parents to leave stuff for us, be it property, be it whatever. At the same time, you're not even given the opportunity to step in the door is a very scary realization. There are people out there that have these opportunities, that have the connections, that have the people out there, and that's great for them, honestly. But the majority, me, my friends, and a lot of the people who are probably watching this do not have those opportunities. They don't have those chances to actually prove themselves and to actually build a future. The previous generation messed up, and it's not just in Zambia, it's around the world. The previous generation did not create the necessary groundworks to allow us to actually work, and it's scary. And what's the step forward? Oh, you just watched a video about a guy rant about how it is being agency in Zambia. I don't have the solution. Okay, I have one solution. At least I'm gonna give that. The government should find a way to incentivize companies to hire people in my generation. Please. I want hope. Ugh, that sounds so disgusting to say. But yes. What other option is make content creation available in Zambia that people can get paid? Please. I think that's also something that I would want. Other than that, I don't really have any concrete solutions. The world is interconnected. Someone will just be like, oh, all you need to do is pump more money into the economy. Just keep pumping more money. Job creation is gonna come. We're gonna have so many jobs. They do realize government spending spikes inflation. Actually, I don't think they know that. But hey, it, a lot of people don't know stuff. I also don't know stuff. I'm still learning. But at the end of the day, it's just depressing being a Gen Z, knowing that your future is gonna be quite difficult, way harder than your parents' generation, even though they think otherwise. A lot of us are not lazy. A lot of us are not unmotivated. A lot of us are motivated. A lot of us do want to work. Yeah, we got people who like just want to have the easy life and expect riches to come their way. But every generation has that. Every generation has people like that. But for the most part, a lot of people do want to work. They want to get jobs. They want to build a future. They want to save, and they want to start a family. They want to do all these things. But we cannot even have children in our generation. Why? Because life is too expensive. Yeah, there's also other factors. People having trauma issues, and we're not gonna get into that. People just can't. Like we just can't. Like, come on, guys. Diapers are like 900 kwacha. The pains of being a parent. The child is probably not gonna live a really happy life because the parents won't be able to afford a lot of the things that is needed for a child to grow up in a happy, healthy household. But anyways, if you enjoyed the video, like, subscribe. Another video will be coming soon. Peace.